Weekend.
Oh, I've had better. You?
Quiet, but everything is uneventful after Friday.
Yeah, any news?
He's in Edinburgh on his honeymoon on his Todd.
Oh,
I don't care what he says, mate. He is giving a statement. His name's Sean Parsons, and he had 7 shades of you-know-what kicked out of him.
You just let it go.
It doesn't make you any less of a man, Sean.
I'm very sorry, sir.
Frank?
Can you talk some sense into my son?
What happened?
Turns up Saturday morning, black and blue, told me he'd given a statement.
Well, I hope he went straight to A&E.
Who's this?
This is Dr. Reed. Have you been examined by a doctor?
Sean, answer the lady.
Had some fills yesterday, all right?
He says it's not gang-related, but you know what the Churchill estate's like. Gotham on acid.
And like you know, you're always at work.
Yeah, to try and keep a roof over your head, Sean.
Fine. I'll make a statement. You happy now?
The joys of bringing up Kevin the teenager.
What happened to your hand?
It's nothing. Accident at work. I'll stick a plaster on it later.
Come on, son.
So, I didn't miss much.
Well, apart from Barry being jilted at the altar, no?
And to think I cancelled a meeting with the estate agent to cover this non-event.
Wonder how Mr. Bigelow is. Does anyone know?
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Valerie's about as stable as the Middle East. If you ask me, he's had a lucky escape.
You're all heart, Zara.
I did try to tell him at the stag do. I told him it was too good to be true.
What a night that must have been.
I was right, though, wasn't I?
I think Valerie did the right thing. Better to tell him now than maintain a charade.
Marriage is overrated anyway. All my divorced friends are far happier.
So, you live on the Churchill?
Yep. Keeping it real. It's not as bad as you might have read. There are some decent people left.
Do you really believe that Sean's involved in drugs?
I don't know. We share 4 walls, but he's got more time for his games console than me.
Is it just the two of you?
His mum took off years ago. Shouldn't even send him a birthday card. I do my best, but I'm not great at the emotional stuff.
You seem pretty capable to me. You're done.
Have you got kids?
Yes, a son.
Is he hard work too?
He was, but he left home a long time ago now.
You don't look old enough. Oh, sorry. Hello? Dev? OK, I'm on my way. I've got to go. Work. Can you do me a favour?
Of course.
Let Sean know where I am.
Yes.
Thanks for this.
You're very welcome. How was the interview?
Oh, great. I might as well arrest half of Leatherbridge. He gave me the vaguest description of an assailant that I've ever heard. And he lied about being checked over at St. Phil's.
Do you think he is involved in drugs? I mean, maybe that's why he's being so evasive.
I don't know, but he's not going to shed any light on it.
Right, well, are you all right for me to examine him?
Knock yourself out. Oh, yeah, I think that Frank, his dad, was really taken by you.
Really?
And he's a good bloke.
How do you know him?
He's a fireman.
Is he now?
He's not willing to support an application for funding, end of.
Why?
He says the treatment's too experimental. He really went off on one.
He's probably being really cautious. He doesn't want to raise any false hope.
Well, I'm not giving up.
I'm not saying that you should. Look, I found something online might be useful. It's this almost mirror image case in Belarus. This girl, practically the same symptoms as Harry. But she was lucky because her dad had money. Look where she was treated.
It's the same clinic.
Dr. Langenberg and Basil. Oh, and there's an article in there too where they interview him and he goes into much more detail about the procedure itself and what it involves.
What happened to the girl?
It significantly prolonged her life.
Nave, this is it. This is the proof we needed. This'll shut Dr. Richmond up.
Okay, I don't think that's a good idea. If you go in there all gung-ho, you might get us back up.
What, so we do nothing?
No, Ben, I'm not saying that. Why don't I go in and speak to him? One professional to another. But first, talk it over with Sarah.
It's no need. It's a great idea. Sarah's behind me 100%.
Your dad asked me to tell you that he was called into work.
Typical.
What's all this about, Sean? Why did you lie about being examined by a doctor? Okay, could you lift up your shirt for me, please? Okay. Sean, this was clearly a nasty attack. Why didn't you report it? Could you show me your hands, please? You didn't fight back, did you? Who did this to you, Sean?
Are we done now? Can I get past?
So we see you at 4:30 on Wednesday, Mr. Nash. Okay, bye-bye.
Karen, can you check and photocopy this, please? Make sure it's distributed to the team.
What is it?
A new price list. We're extending the travel clinic. We're also raising prices on some other services with immediate effect.
Yeah, but I've got people booked in for some of these today. I mean, the medical signings.
Well, it might be a good idea to contact them in advance, then.
Well, they're not going to like it, are they? And I've got these to call about. These are the HGV medicals for Wednesday.
Just as well you have an extra pair of hands, then, isn't it? Look who's back. Morning.
Morning.
I'll leave you two ladies to crack on.
Wasn't expecting to see your face.
Oh, Anthony thought it'd be better if I kept busy.
Yeah, well, we've come to the right place. Landed me with another challenge, Annika.
Karen, is there any news of Barry?
I'm not sure why you'd be interested. You couldn't leave quick enough on Friday.
Has Rob heard anything?
Oh, hope so. Why did you do it like that, Valerie? In front of everyone?
I tried to go through with it. I just couldn't live a lie. I don't love Barry.
Then why lead him on?
I thought I was dying. I thought I didn't have a future and I panicked. I didn't want to die alone.
What have you done, Sean? What have you told me?
Look, I haven't said anything. Just stay away from me.
Sean? What's going on? Is that the man that attacked you? Sean, talk to me. Anything you tell me, it won't go any further.
He'll kill me.
Then you need to tell the police.
You don't understand.
I understand how scared you are.
It's more complicated than you realise.
Sean, who is that?
He's my boyfriend.
Come in.
Yes. It's a price list for essential services.
I know what it's for. Thank you.
And?
Valerie, I am not interested in your personal life. So if you're looking for sympathy, please spare me the waterworks.
No, it's not about that.
Well, then what?
It's about the cancer. The consultant said that no more treatment would be necessary. But what does that actually mean? Am I really cancer-free? What if it comes back?
Take a seat. Now, Valerie, this is the best possible outcome. You will still need to be tested regularly for any recurrence. There are no guarantees. A lot of patients can find this a very difficult stage. They expect to feel euphoric, but actually they can feel a sense of anticlimax.
It's like no one's got any time for me now.
Valerie, maybe they're all just feeling sympathy for poor old Gormless Barry. They'll get over it. So why don't you just pull yourself together and stop bleating about it, hmm?
Thank you.
see you next week, Mrs. Cooper.
These came for you.
Really? Oh, thanks.
Don't thank me. So, who's the secret admirer?
I'm not sure.
It's a bit late for Valentine's.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Anthony, I thought the whole point of the private health charges was to offset NHS care, not make a killing.
Absolutely. But we have to remain consistent with our competitors, and this is what they're charging. Times are changing, Heston. We have to change with them. Look, I'm happy to take your reservations on board. Why don't we monitor patient feedback and review the new pricing structure going forwards,
OK.
I thought dinosaurs were supposed to be extinct. Lovely to see that smile back on your face.
Thank you so much for seeing me at such short notice. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no professional connection to the case. Harry is not my patient.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were the family GP.
I'm just a good friend of Harry's father. And he is desperate for his son to be considered for a new treatment. It's an experimental form of plasmapheresis. I understand you recently declined an application for funding.
With good reason. It's a highly controversial treatment, Dr. Donahue. It's completely unproven.
Right. I think I have something you might be interested in. It's an almost identical case. 10-year-old girl with a systemic autoimmune condition just like Harry's. She had a treatment in January and...
Yes, I know. I've read it.
Oh. Oh, and you don't think this indicates that the procedure has some merit?
Not without detailed clinical studies to support it.
Right. Harry doesn't have that kind of time.
Look, it's a difficult situation. Langenberg's work shows promise, but without substantive evidence. And there's another issue. In my opinion, Harry Owens is far too sick to travel. Why subject a seriously ill child to that level of risk, when in all statistical likelihood that treatment itself will fail?
With all due respect, if there's a chance, I mean, we got into the medical profession to help people.
Which is precisely why I'm advising against this. Look, I know it's an emotional issue for the family, but without concrete clinical proof, this just isn't a viable option for Harry.
Thank you for your time.
Dr. Reed speaking.
You like the flowers?
Who is this?
Frank Carson's.
How did you get this number?
Mutual friend tipped me off.
Did they now? Well, I shall have to have a word with Sergeant Hollings.
I just wanted to thank you for your time earlier. For listening.
Well, that's very kind of you, but you really didn't need to go to so much trouble.
Can I take you for a drink?
I don't really think that would be appropriate, do you?
Why? I'm not your patient.
Look, I have to go, but thank you very much for the flowers. Oh, Neve, your timing is impeccable. I was just being chatted up.
Mr. Parsons?
Yeah.
Just think, Harry should have the opportunity to live longer, even if the chances are 1,000,000 to 1.
Well, I can see Dr. Richmond's point of view, though.
Not you too. It is just one person.
Yes, but he's one person who happens to know an awful lot about this subject. Look, Harry is under his care. You can't circumvent that, Neve.
No, but Al could. He's Harry's GP.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's worth a try.
So, who's chatting you up?
Oh, just some random bloke at the police station.
A copper?
No, a fireman.
Was he wearing his wellies? Oh, come on, it's all about the uniform.
He's not my type.
Hey, babe. You like the trainers?
Leave me alone, Mitch. Stop ringing.
Don't be like that. I love you.
Well, I don't, okay? I never want to see you again.
Why don't you try saying that to my face, Sean? And we'll see if you really mean it. I make it up to you, babe. I promise. Just give me one more chance. Please, Sean. I'm sorry.
That's the problem, Mitchell. You always are sorry. Until you do it again.
Come in.
Got a visitor?
Oh, come in. Hi. Yes, thank you, Karen.
That was easy. Thought I'd have to come my way in. Say I was doing a fire safety inspection.
Well, Karen has a thing for men in uniform.
I brought you another present.
Frank, I don't need any more presents.
It's just a bit of fun. It's a calendar. Me and the lads got our kits off for charity. Raised quite a bit. I'm August, the centrefold. I'll work out.
Clearly.
Come for a drink with me. We'll have a laugh.
Okay.
Relax.
Do you know what? I don't think going for a drink is such a good idea after all.
Why? You were well up for it a minute ago.
I'm sorry. I was well up for it.
I didn't mean it like that. I told you I'm not good with words.
Have you spoken to Sean since this morning?
What's that got to do with it?
I just think that you should.
He's not interested in anything I've got to say. Has he said something?
I'm afraid I can't discuss that.
Why? What is it?
You need to speak to him.
Why can't you tell me?
Because...
First you lead me on, then you brush me off, and now this. Are you some kind of tease?
I think you should leave.
What? Oh, come on, I didn't mean it. You're overreacting.
Now.
Surprise. Only I decide when we finish shooting.
Mitch, please.
What? Hey, shh. I'm not going to hurt you. But if you try and dump me, I'll tell everyone that you're gay. Your friends, your dad. Got tested, by the way. Turns out I'm HIV positive.
You're lying.
You know I was mixed up with drugs.
We can look after each other, Sean. I'll always be there for you.
Come over tonight. I'll be waiting.
Sarah, you okay? Nurse said you'd come down with something.
Yeah, some kind of Tommy bug came on last night. How's Harry?
Listen, I've been doing some research into a new treatment. Can I come round and talk to you about it?
I don't know, Ben. I'm not feeling too great. What treatment?
It's a kind of plasmapheresis.
Dr. Richmond hasn't mentioned anything about plasmapheresis.
We can send Harry's notes in and see if he's a suitable candidate.
Well, send them where?
To a clinic in Switzerland.
Ben, just stop it. Is this Dr. Richmond's idea?
Actually, I've been speaking to another doctor about it.
A consultant?
No. She's a friend.
Oh, is she?
What?
I just can't believe you found the time and energy to start another relationship while your son lies dying in hospital.
This treatment could be a lifeline for Harry.
Well, as soon as I feel better, we'll sit down with Dr. Richmond and discuss it, but I don't want you doing anything without his or my approval. Are we clear?
I've been researching systemic autoimmune conditions.
Wow. You're writing a thesis?
There's some very exciting work being done in Switzerland. Have you heard anything about it?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Well, here's an interview with the doctor who came up with this procedure, and also a case study of a patient who was successfully treated last year. You have a patient with the same symptoms as Harry Owens?
I'm very well informed.
I know the family a bit. Would you mind having a read of it? I'd really love your opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Would you read it now? There's my guy.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry that you weren't told about the increase when you made your booking. OK, I'll cancel for you. Is there anything else that... Another unhappy customer. Do you know, suddenly, it's a very different place around here. We're charging for car parking next.
It's not a bad idea. It's a new place, it's a new world. We've got to roll with it.
You sound like him now.
Anthony's a good man. Karen, we're lucky to have him. Can you file that, please?
Hey, there's somebody to see you, says it's urgent.
Well, as long as it's not a fireman.
Well?
It's interesting.
Don't you think that Harry is the ideal candidate for this?
It's not been clinically proven, Neve.
I know. But if there's even the slightest possibility that it could help, isn't it worth the risk? I mean, isn't that why we chose medicine in the first place?
Yeah, but we also chose to be governed by fact, not sentiment. Now, I care about Harry too, just like I care about all my patients, but this needs to be clinically tested. Until then, we have to be cautious. I tell you what, I'll speak to Harry's consultant, see what he thinks, yeah?
I already have.
How come you're so interested?
I'm in a relationship with Harry's dad.
Well, that's going to make things less complicated, isn't it?
Okay, what if it was your child? Wouldn't you do anything?
I would try anything that had been clinically proven. You did ask my opinion, Neve.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Do you believe him?
He was mixed up in drugs.
Or it might just be another vicious lie to try and control you.
Either way, I need a HIV test. Can you do it?
I'll have to give you the address of a sexual health clinic nearby. But they'll be able to give you the results by the end of the day. Planning a holiday? Is running away the answer?
I'm not running away. I'm starting over.
So, Mitchell goes unpunished. This is your home, Sean. Don't let somebody bully you out of it. And what about Frank?
What about him?
He was genuinely concerned about you this morning.
Him and his mates are always making little homophobic remarks.
About you?
No, just generally.
Do you ever challenge them?
Those are all the complaints that are logged for today.
Oh, thanks, Karen. I'll start reviewing them immediately. You doing anything nice this evening?
Recovering from today.
Well, thanks again for all your hard work. Night.
Night.
Seriously? I thought I was well in there. Another one bites the dust, eh? Sean, what are you doing here?
Can we talk?
About what?
There's something I need to tell you.
I'm at work.
This is important, Dad.
Later.
You worried what your mates might think? Yeah, well, I've put this off for long enough. I don't care who is it.
Here's what?
I'm gay.
Do we have to do this now?
Is that all you can say?
I know. OK. I've always known. What you do behind closed doors is your business.
So what? It's all right as long as no one knows about it. I thought you wanted me to stand up for myself. Like this morning, you said making a statement didn't make me any less of a man.
That was about being beaten up. I might not approve of your lifestyle, Sean, but I don't want you to be a victim.
You thought I'd been queer bashed.
If anyone takes a finger to you, they'll have me to deal with, OK?
Oh, God.
You actually do care about me. Dad, I wasn't beaten up by homophobes. It was my boyfriend.
What?
And I've been bullied enough. I'm not going to be a victim anymore.
Who is he? I'll kill him.
Oh, like that'd help anyone.
Sean, where the hell are you going now?
The police station. Just change my statement.
Hey, how'd it go?
I spoke to Dr. Richmond and Dr. Husky.
No, Joy.
Looks like it's you, me and Sarah versus the rest of the world.
Actually, Neve,
I don't
need to-
care. I know how much you love your son. And if Harry was my child, I would do anything, inside or outside the law, to help him. So I called Dr. Langenberg, and he thinks that Harry is a suitable candidate. It's going to be really difficult, and there's going to be lots of obstacles, but I'm going to get you to Switzerland. Okay?
Neve, you're amazing.
You passed out.
I think he's dying.
I'll be there as soon as I can, all right?
I'm not having blackouts.
But I saw you.
No, you didn't. It wasn't me.
It could work. We just need to get him across the channel.
No.
No one's indispensable.